This is Wobbly Wallaby. Today we're covering the newly accelerated ROM 2.0 Ninja. Ninjas are a great class to accelerate because their AoE skills are quite strong. You can start to farm efficiently from day 1. In this video, I'll be going over the Ninja Wind Shuriken build, which I believe is the best for new players. Magic Ninja is another popular build, but that one is more expensive to start off with. You will learn how to build your character so that you can work towards earning more than 1.7 million raw zeny per day. This is my accelerated ninja. Even though her level in this video is 122 and 123 with growth index 13, I did start farming these initial spots at level 120. In fact, you can even farm these spots with just the lowest epic spirit weapon and nothing else. I don't want people thinking this guy can't be used by brand new players. Let's take a look at the attributes first. The attributes are the default allocation given to me. The attributes are a mix of strength, vitality, and dexterity. As you gain levels, add more into strength to get more damage. I've also reset these attributes before and tried to get 159 strength and the rest in dex. This is great for farming, but not so much for PvE content since you don't have much HP. For all these farming tests, the default allocation works, so it's up to you whether you want to reset the skills and max out strength. Next is skills. These are the default skill allocations given to me. You don't have to change anything. I want to highlight some key farming skills. 4 souls. A fantastic way to get free elemental converters. This seems really unfair to have it as it saves you money on buying them. You can change these skills anytime using the skills menu or from the manual skill bar. Tranquil Restoration. With this skill, you don't need to play dead anymore. You will always regenerate your SP while farming. This is another unfair skill to have since having unlimited SP when farming is very advantageous. You don't have to eat foods for SP discharge, and you don't have to lose your spot by playing dead. Wind Monster Cultivation. I'm not sure why they just put 12 points into this one. I would max it out if you reset your skills if you need more penetration percentage. You can remove points from Shadow Leap as you don't use this for farming. Next is Ninjutsu Thousand Shadows. You can summon up to 2 shadow clones to fight for you. While this sounds fantastic, I would caution that you only use this skill if your shadow clones can consistently one-shot stuff. If you can't, you're wasting your time casting this skill and the clones aren't as helpful as you need them to be. Wind Dart Cast, an amazing AoE skill that can be affected by elemental converters, one of our primary farming skills. From the Acer Monument vouchers, it will unlock nodes for you to include Breaking Dawn, which provides very high penetration percentage for additional damage. For Amaterasu, max out the Wind Shuriken as fast as possible. This gives you a very high damage AoE skill that can be affected by elemental converters. This is the highest priority skill you need to unlock and level up. You can also invest in strengthening to make it stronger. For Acer, I got the default nodes from hitting growth index 13. For advanced runes, I'm not using any. This is to show you that you can achieve great damage without any advanced runes. Next is my adventure handbook. I needed to create this ninja on an existing account so I could use humors to play around with different builds. I want to show the adventure handbook is quite low and there isn't much hidden damage. For gear, the default epic spirit gear is quite good to start off with. As you go through your growth index, you will unlock all of these. For offhand, use the Epic Spirit Beacon's Gauntlet. For armor, use the Epic Spirit Beacon's Armor. For garment, use the Epic Spirit Beacon Cape. For footgear, use Epic Spirit Beacon's Footgear. For accessories, use the Epic Spirit Beacon's Rings. For weapon, use Epic Spirit Beacon's Shuriken. For head, use Confusion, which you can get from unlocking Amaterasu. For face, use Dean's Glasses. For mouth, use Night Before Assessment. For back, use Graduation Song. For tail, use School Building Administrator. For gear progression, I'd recommend you first invest in Rosa Bracelet for Ignore Defense. Then Tights for attack percentage. Then Ancient Cape for Ignore Defense. Then Net on Head for Ignore Defense. Next for mouth, the Key of the Stars is part of the Advanced Kefka, and it is the best mouth for farming. It is available on all servers right now, but in case you missed it, Abyss Whisper is a good replacement. Then invest in 2 Moonlight Tendrillon cards for extra skill damage. Then get the Tail Ice Ridge Sculpture for Ignore Defense. Then get Ruin Boots for attack percentage. Then upgrade your face item by using Silent Sinking for more skill damage. This one's a bit more pricey. This is the plus 10 weapon I saved up after doing these farming spots. This will give you great damage, but I won't use it in this video since a 30 million plus item is pretty expensive for newbies to save up for. Next is farming spots. I don't use premium to collect any of this data. For the first few spots, I'm just going to use 60 minutes of combat time to give you an idea of how well this spot does. For the 1.7 million raw zeny spot, I will do the full 240 minute combat time. The first spot is in Paeon Cave 1F. You're killing Egria, Moonax, and Bungans. This spot is possible on day 1 since you don't need any Amaterasu skills. In this short clip, I'm using the weaker level Epic Origin Shuriken weapon and nothing else to one-shot everything. If you wear everything you're given on day 1, you can one-shot monsters here. Here's the full Epic Spear gear you should be using, even though you can one-shot stuff without it, and the starting zeny and stuff in my bag. For skills, I'm using Tranquil Restoration, Wind Dart Cast, and Nijitsu Thousand Shadows. Your shadow clones are consistently one-shotting monsters here. Here's my favorite spot in Paeon Cave 1F. I will target all monsters and I'll show how the monsters are dying quite efficiently. If you do become an Amaterasu, I would still use the same skills. I find that Wind Shuriken sometimes cast too shallow, so it doesn't hit as many things as Wind Dart Cast can. Wind Dart Cast has a better kill range. I'll show we started at 0 combat time. 60 minutes later, I teleported into the guild hall so my clones will stop killing stuff. I end with about 208,000 zeny and a bunch of sellable materials. I would recommend you farm this spot until you can go to Glasshelm Culverts. Next is another farming spot in Paeon Cave 1F once you unlock the Wind Shuriken skill. Here's my starting zeny, my gear, and things in my bag. I start off with 63 combat time. The skills I use are Tranquil Restoration, Wind Dart Cast, and Wind Shuriken. No need to cast Shadow Clones here since your AoE insta-kills everything so fast in this small area. This one takes a bit to set up, as the spawn rate can be a bit odd sometimes. You have to continuously kill a huge amount before they start instant spawning. Sometimes it takes a couple seconds before they even show up. Wind Shuriken excels at taking out closely clumped monsters like this, so you can use this spot even with level 1 Wind Shuriken. Finally, the spawn rate is correct now, and it becomes a Hydra massacre. I show 60 minutes have passed. Here's my ending zeny and my Jalopy. You kill so many Hydras that the zeny and EXP notifications will still be flashing above your head for a while. The res zeny here is slightly higher here at about 214,000 zeny for 60 minutes of combat time. If you want more Jalopy than you can handle, it is great. This spot is also good if you struggle to sell stuff in the previous spot. When do you go to Glasshelm Culverts? If your Amaterasu skill, Wind Shuriken, is strong enough to one-shot monsters there, then you should move over. This might take new players about 2 weeks before they have enough gear, growth index, and time quicksand to achieve this. This is the optimal Glasshelm spot that I'll be showing. You'll probably need to channel change a few times before you find an empty spot. I start at 169 combat time. Here's my starting zeny, bag, and equipment. This time, I have to equip some of the better gear. I used the 2 Moonlight Tendrillon cards in my accessories this time. I I use Key of the Stars for the mouth. I use Nut on head. I use Ancient Cape. I use Tights. I use Rosary Bracelet. And everything else is the same as before. For my skills, it is Tranquil Restorations and Wind Shuriken. Your Wind Dart cast is too weak to one-shot right now without better gear, so it is better to cast skills that guarantee a one-shot. It's inefficient to cast Wind Dart cast and not kill monsters, and then your character has to cast Wind Shuriken to finish it off. I show 60 minutes have passed. Here's my bag with raw zeny and drops. I get about 425,000 raw zeny and sellable drops. This is a good setup, but we can still do better than this. Next is our optimal farming setup. I show the starting combat time. This time, I'll go through the full 240 minutes of combat time. We start the day with 150 combat time and listen to 30 minutes of music. In this scenario, we're strong enough now that Wind Dart cast can one-shot things, so we'll use this in combination with the other skills. We'll be using the same spot again in Glass Helm Culverts. Here's the ideal spot on Glass Helm Culverts. Here's my bag and starting zeny. I'll go through the gear in the next clip since I wanted to start farming quickly before someone stole my spot. I also eat strength meal bees. If you have a better weapon or more strength, you don't need to eat foods. For skills, I'm using the Ninjutsu Thousand Shadows, Breaking Dawn, Tranquil Restorations, Wind Shuriken, and Wind Dart cast. With this setup, a lot of things are dying every minute. The damage is high enough that my ninja clones can consistently one-shot things with their AoE, which makes this very ideal. Here's the gear I used. I had to use Silent Sinking this time for more skill damage. I'm still using Moonlight Tendrillin in my accessories for skill damage. Key of the Stars, Ice Wreath Sculpture. I had to add Rune Boots for more attack percentage. Ancient Cape, Tights, Rosary Bracelet, and Confusion. "240 minutes of combat time has passed. Here is my ending zeny and bag. I forgot to show my consumables, so I excluded Great Nature, Mystic Frozen, and Royal Jelly from the chart. We get about 1.7 million raw zeny and sellable materials. You can keep farming beyond 240 minutes of combat time for even more zeny. This is a fantastic spot to keep farming your ninja. I see ninjas at level 140 plus and beyond farming here because the raw zeny is just so good. Good luck farming, and I hope this video taught you how to start farming efficiently with your newly accelerated ninja. If you enjoyed this video, like, comment, and subscribe.